Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Jai Opetaia defeats Mairis Briedis by a 12-round unanimous decision to gain back his IBF Cruiserweight title. Now this fight was relatively uninspiring for the majority of it. First 9 rounds was essentially Jai Opetaia with his usual in-and-out style, outboxing, outmaneuvering Mairis Briedis. Briedis would have the odd little flurry here and there, primarily with his overhand right, but the southpaw in Jai Opetaia was able to hold centre ring, and he made Briedis reactionary. It looked like Briedis was trying to walk Opetaia onto a big shot, but that big shot never really came. And Opetaia was able to outwork and outbox Briedis, outland him kind of thing, particularly with the lead hand, but also the straight left to the body, and occasionally the straight left to the head. Opetaia was in cruise control for 9 rounds. Briedis, to me, looked rusty. However, and bear in mind, he's 39 years old, he's been out of a ring for 2 years. He looked rusty, but I don't think he necessarily looked shot, if that makes sense. It just looked like his timing was way off. But, you know, he stuck in there, he soaked up what Jai Opetaia had to offer, and eventually he would make a stand towards the end of the fight. Opetaia definitely had a lot of respect for Briedis' power throughout this fight, given what happened in the first fight. Of course, Opetaia had his jaw broken in, 2 places, and got buzzed in that fight. So he came into that fight with that mindset. It was a lot more cautious from Jai Opetaia than we're used to seeing. In his last 2 fights against Elizoro and Jordan Thompson, you could tell he didn't respect those guys, and he walked through those guys and knocked them out, took a lot of risks. In this one, he definitely respected Briedis. You know, throughout this fight, I felt it was going one way, a lopsided Opetaia decision. And I guess that's how it played out, but not necessarily. Round 6 was a good round for Opetaia. I felt this may be when Briedis would unravel. Briedis opened up in round 6 and landed a good overhand right on Opetaia, but Opetaia timed him with a left hand in between Briedis' shots, and it shattered Briedis' nose. Opetaia then followed up with a lovely straight left hand, good shots, and at this point I wondered whether Opetaia would start to go through the gears and really, really dominate. You know, he outboxed Briedis for round 7, round 8, and round 9. But round 10, the last sort of 3 rounds, was a nightmare for Opetaia. Briedis broke Opetaia's nose in round 10. I believe it was a head clash, but he was also hurt with a sneaky uppercut. And, you know, this was around midway through round 10, maybe a minute left, something like that. He was caught with a sneaky uppercut, and Opetaia was hurt. He was backpedaling. Briedis tried to jump on him, throw combinations, etc. Couldn't get the shots off though. Rounds 11 and 12 is the same. Opetaia got caught with some good shots, and he felt those shots. Took them well, but he felt them. And he was forced to backpedal in rounds 11, rounds 12. He was still getting his own work off. He was exchanging with Briedis, but Briedis was landing some hurtful punches. The only thing was, Briedis was, you know, he was just a bit too far behind, and you could sense it in his work. He was getting desperate. He was really lunging in, really taking a lot of risks, but it wouldn't really pay off. He caught Opetaia with good shots, but not the one that could really do the damage. He buzzed him a couple of times, but again, couldn't get that final shot off to really secure a knockout or a knockdown. And ultimately, Opetaia got through it and won the fight. The work he put in the first 9 rounds won him this fight. You know, Briedis started a little too late, but he still showed that he's got something left, because the last 3 rounds were very good from Briedis. He just took too long to get going, you know. I felt he was too reactionary. He was reacting to what Opetaia was doing and almost engaging Opetaia in a boxing match. Opetaia is more swift on his feet with the in and out movement. He was taller and longer from that southpaw stance, and I felt that was, you know, probably the wrong game plan for Briedis. At least I felt he should have really upped the pace earlier on. But yeah, the last sort of 3 rounds were reminiscent of the first fight, to be honest, when Opetaia dominated, Then in the second half, Briedis started to take over. But regardless, Opetaia wins the fight. I felt he was the rightful winner. And we move on. He's saying he wants the winner of Chris Billum-Smith and Richard Riakporhe. So yeah, hopefully we get a cruiserweight unification in the near future. Overall, again, Opetaia showed us he's a good boxer early on. Showed us he's tough in the last sort of 3 rounds. As for Briedis, what does his future hold? I actually still think he's got a bit left. Maybe he could go to Bridgerweight and you know, try and fight for a Bridgerweight title, something like that. But yeah, we'll see. He's 39, had a great career, a 3-time cruiserweight champion. Definitely one of the better cruiserweights in recent years. So yeah, whatever happens with Briedis, great career, enjoyable to watch for the most part. And yeah, he's a tough guy. But yeah, Opetaia wins UD 12 rounds and is now the IBF cruiserweight champion. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy, peace.